allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Everybody, get back up here. All right, Wednesday, November 26th, 2025. Payday meeting. Agenda. Good with everybody? Did you add anything? Thinking. Wondering if I should add an executive for non-elected personnel. So. Okay. All right, and then move forward as with that one exception, payday approval.
Okay. First, we're going to do the change orders. Nothing has changed.
Thank you.
I just have a question on this hospital change. I mean, this hospital's been here forever and they're now just not getting an exemption.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing we've had a few years ago with the land banks all being created too. I mean, I don't know if they just didn't realize. But yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more on this one.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand the land banks because we set one up and then we started moving all the stuff, and the cities did one, they started moving all the stuff, but this one's different. I don't know.
it just strikes me as odd that, I mean, the hospital's been here since I've been here. No. But anyway.
More info.
Things that make you go,
We had it with the co-ops too, at some point, I remember a bunch of co-ops realizing that they were exempt and didn't. So.
Okay. Next is the minutes of November 17.
Everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Any corrections? If not, a motion to approve.
go ahead.
Dave moves, Clark seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
We do have, sales tax did not get into your packet, but it is in the amount of $85,068.92. It's all on your desk there. We have Western Associates in the amount of $1,604.12.
Make a motion to approve $1,604.12 for Western Associates.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those abstaining?
Abstain.
We have Elcon Services in the amount of $1,883.02.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second.
I'll second
All those in favor?
it. Aye.
Alright. I abstain.
Then the total payday is $1,615,432.79.
Any questions on any of the warrants? What was that one? It was night.
I just wanna point out, we spent another over $30,000 in contract trucking.
I just noticed we had a new trucking company hauling rock evidently. Out of Newton maybe? I don't know where they're
I think
from.
it's out of Lebo.
Oh, so they're hauling
Here.
all hard rock to us or what?
There was invoices for rock and hauling.
Some of that, I met with Doug Blaine this week, talked about trying to move forward in the future with a better game plan, but some of that night may have been hauling chip seal material.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was, because we were going with a different type of chip.
It just said haul rock.
Yeah.
They put that for every type of material
Right.
regardless,
Right.
so.
Unless you wanna get way more specific.
I think it said rock on the.
There are a lot of kinds of rocks.
I know. Yeah, chip seal rock, all that.
So you met with Doug.
Yeah, and
Good.
yeah, I think it was, I have concerns that we're putting this soft horseman rock on. I looked at a couple of roads that we rocked a couple months ago and they're already beat down to you can't even tell they put rock on them. And, it may cost us a little bit more, but I think if we went with the harder rock and did less, but had a solid plan for what we were gonna do, then we can
We can actually save money in the long run.
save money in the long run. It may be year 2 or 3 before we start seeing a significant savings, but if you can put that hard rock on and it lasts 5 years versus this stuff that lasts 6 months, to me it's a,
I think the last time we did the math, if we can get it to last for 2 years, we actually break even.
break even, yeah.
So if we can get any more than 2, we're actually winning.
And then, I think we've got, I talked to him about, we don't need to be, this rock is obviously farther away, it's gonna cost us a little more to haul it. But I think there are people out there that are coming through this area that if we had 4 or 5 locations where we could say, hey, go to the quarry, say, we want 30,000 tons of this rock. What's your bottom dollar price for a 30,000 ton order?
I know a few companies that are deadheading, running down to get sand.
Get sand, get salt out of Hutchinson, whatever. And then we put out a bid for, okay, we've got 30,000 tons of rock at this quarry. We want it delivered to these 5 locations, X amount here, X amount here, X amount here. You've got 6 months to get it here. Make it work with your schedule. I think we can get it hauled a lot cheaper. Once it gets here, then we can use our equipment and put it on the roads when we need it, where we need it. And we talked about prioritizing what we do. I know, right now, I think they're using the harder rock when they do a rebuild. But there's a lot of roads out here that don't need rebuilding,
Just need capped.
that need capped. And if we can do that, and we don't have to touch them for 5 years, other than maintenance, we're money ahead. I just asked him to think outside the box, and a lot of people, people complain about rock. That's the biggest complaint I get is the roads. But if they know that there's a plan, if they break it down and say, okay, we're gonna do 100 miles a year. this year and work from the, the most, I said, let's start with, if we can figure out the average daily use and pick out the top 20% or whatever and say, this year we're gonna hit these, this year we're gonna hit these. We're still gonna have to go back and fix problems and issues, but I think that if we can get a game plan. And I think right now they spend more time responding to complaints than, it's like, I need rock, I need this road fixed.
It's been the whole issue this year, and until you get those sections of road crowned, I wouldn't even be favored putting a hard rock on until they're crowned right.
Well, yeah, but there's roads out there that,
Yeah, there are roads that are good,
The
but
one in your district, 250th heading west,
290th,
well, 250th heading west is, it's got good ditches, it's got good shape, it just gets sloppy.
It's not crowned right though, because water sits in the, I mean, if you drive down a road and there's water sitting in the middle of it, it's not crowned. I mean, you don't have to be a professional to know that. And until we get those crowned, if we get them crowned, I'd say, yeah, get it on there. But I've got a section of road that, a week and a half ago, they put 2-inch rock on. It's gone. Like 2 inch.
Yeah.
2 inches gone.
I believe it.
And why? There's no place for the water to go. But yet, they gotta have it because there are 2 feedlots and the semis are running on them. As soon as the semis hit those roads, it doesn't matter what, if they could be 8-inch rock, it'd be gone. And the whole issue is that there's no crown there.
Sorry, got off topic a little bit, but I was just curious to know.
No, I'm all in favor of hard rock.
Okay. Now, so I'll go back to the payday part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't wanna,
Yeah.
I wanted to seize the opportunity to hear about that meeting. So is there any questions with any of the warrants? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the $1,615,432.79.
Second.
Motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
And that's all I have.
Okay, I have a few things on mine. The first thing that I have is it is time to renew our security agreement for SD security. And it's the same, they haven't increased anything, so they're proposing just keeping the same agreement for an additional year, and I've asked for 2 years at the same rate, so it would be a minimum of 90 hours, which is what we have now. And of course, they understand that if they're in the building and we're having a meeting here, that if they're not occupied with court, that they'll come by here and kind of make an appearance and say hi. So they're very willing, and they do frequently kind of just check in with the different offices. So our current agreement ends next week. So I'm just looking for a motion and a vote to continue, and then authorize me to sign. And then he'll be coming later to sign his part.
So did they agree to 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
I'll make a motion to approve courthouse security agreement for 2 years. Pass that down, let you look at it and wait for my second.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
I said aye.
Okay. I didn't catch it.
Okay. Had a request, I had a memo from, the county attorney, Michelle Brown. She's had a request from the sheriff's office for some, funds from her diversion account. And so she actually is able to spend those funds, but it is carried in the general fund. And so they are requesting, it's basically a total of $8,000. So it's for training for the K-9. So there's a training, which is $4,000. There's some equipment that they need, which is about $2,000. And then the training is a week long, week I think is what they said. And so there was also, it's 2 weeks, excuse me. I was like, that seems high for a week. So they're asking for another $2,000. So it's about $8,000 total that they're requesting from the diversion fund. Michelle was in support of it. She's just very conscientious about getting approval from the board, even though she doesn't actually really need it for that. So she's recommending paying the approximately $8,000 out of diversion. And there is, so that is carried in the general fund. It is tracked by the clerk's office about how much is brought in and how much is spent out of it. And it looks like there's over $90,000 in diversion right now available. So there's not an issue with the funding itself, so.
She can do it wherever she wants to with that money, within,
Yeah,
She just wants.
there are actually,
I'm sure there's parameters.
right.
She can buy equipment.
And she's been very good about allowing expenditures to come out of diversion instead of her her tax levy budget for certain things.
What drives that fund?
Fees for people that enter diversion agreements.
Speeding tickets.
Probably a lot of it, just as long as they're not too quick on the throttle.
I'd make a motion to approve the use of those diversion funds for the K-9 training needed by the sheriff's department.
Got a motion
Second it.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'll let you have that in case you need it. And then the only other thing that I had on mine was, you had, requested the different locations for stop signs at 220th and Falcon. And so in your packet was the resolution. I don't know if there needs to be additional discussion or if that needs to be on another agenda to approve, but that is there in case you want to approve that today.
I had a call from a constituent that would like to bring some facts to us before we sign that. So I asked him to come Monday, if we could hold up on that. That's all right.
I'm good
Leaving it be.
leaving it as is. I went up and took a look at that, and, you know, here a couple of weeks ago, we added some stop signs at an intersection, which I'm fine with.
We didn't take any away.
We didn't take any away. My personal opinion is we need to make a policy that before we even consider removing a stop sign, we have that intersection evaluated by the sheriff's department to see what safety concerns there may be. This one, I went up and looked at it, and
Coming from the north is a danger zone.
is a danger zone. You cannot see that intersection at all until you're right there. And we can wait till Monday and cause I got a call from the same constituent, and I went up and personally looked at it so that I could know what I was talking about. And
Well, you know, and some of that was a little bit of a convenience factor, but, you know, I think we need first look at we need to look at the safety side of it.
But-
You know, I agree 80% of the traffic's going down Falcon. And I agree when they're bringing semis from the south, it's a hassle for them to stop and get going. But to me, that's more of a convenience than the safety, so, you know, like I said, it's hard for me to evaluate, okay, is it correct to move them here? I mean, I guess, you know, in the end, you could put a four-way stop. But I told the constituent, yeah, we'd listen to him. We'd hold up on signing this, so.
I would I think moving forward, I think that before we look at removing something that's been there, we need to have the sheriff's department evaluate that and give us their recommendations from a safety standpoint. I think it would behoove us as a commission to get that input right off the bat. We can table this till Monday and talk about it
I'd
then.
ask them, just hold off till Monday.
Okay. Just trying to see if there's any. Just an update on fleet. We have, our vehicles are starting to arrive now, and we are starting our maintenance program with our county-owned fleet vehicle, our county-owned vehicles plus now the new vehicles. So that's all getting underway. We have 5 vehicles ready to pick up right now out of our 13. So four of those are road and bridge. One is for Josh, and then we still have appraiser, park, and all the sheriff's vehicles. So that's your update on that. Does anybody have any questions for me today?
I kind of forgot, are we trading in vehicles or are we just using put away?
No, we will have that. We will be.
We're trading in. Right.
Yeah.
How that
If
works.
I remember right, they take those and fill them for us.
That's correct. So, the way that works with our, I just met with we check in with fleet, with our fleet team on a regular basis, and we just had a meeting yesterday. So now that the vehicles are arriving, they'll let us know when we go pick them up, and then once we do that, we have a little bit of time to go ahead and get whatever we need off or out of our current vehicles, take decals off, etc. And then when they are ready, to be turned in, we'll let them know, they'll come get them, and it's about a 6-week process, is my understanding, before we receive our funds for those. It takes them a couple weeks to sell it, and then a couple weeks to issue the funds, so.
They're coming with safety lights on, flashers and stuff, or do we have to put those on?
I think he's talking about the sheriff's vehicles. Are they
Oh.
being equipped?
Sorry, I
In
was,
the county vehicles, you know, the
so,
lights flash.
right, so all the equipment, that was all decided on with the departments and the fleet people at the beginning. So they do go for whatever they need before we get them. So, for example, the 4 that we have, they first went to the dealership in Hillsborough, and then they went to, I believe it was Jost that did upfitting on the road and bridge vehicles. And so they install that equipment, and then once that's done, we go pick them up. So sheriff's office, those vehicles are equipped or upfitted, so to speak, in Wichita. And then we go and get those. So decals and so forth, we will do once we receive them.
Customer friendly when they get here then.
Yeah. So we'll see how it all goes. This is our first time around, so.
Like even road and bridge, all the toolboxes and stuff for fuel tanks are incorporated in
Yes.
as a complete unit.
Yes. Now, that equipment we do pay for. So that is something that will be billed for. Because those customized things we would have to pay for any vehicle that we would buy. So.
Any other commission comments?
Okay.
I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss the job performance of a specific employee pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item number 1, personal matters of non-elected personnel with the board and Tina for 10 minutes. Until 9:38. With open session to resume back in commission chambers following this closed session.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
Okay.
Out of executive session, no decision. Got anything?
Outside board reports, the CDDO is officially compliant with the non-conflict
Casey wants it.
regulations within the state. We're the first CDDO in the state to do it. So they're moving forward, and they've actually doubled the size of their staff that does the evaluations. They started with 2, and now they're at 4. They're almost at capacity with the 4 employees that they have now, and continue to grow. So
They're the only ones.
they're the only ones in the state.
I know. We'll be overbooked.
Yeah. And hopefully, if they continue to do well, they can do evaluations for other CDDOs that are trying to get unconflicted and actually generate more income, because it's a paying proposition, so.
Well, we got to go with Tom yesterday to tour some of the rebuild center down there in Wichita. Pretty amazing how much building space they've got that it takes for everything they do.
So did you see our graders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's amazing.
He smiled when he said that. That's why I just.
Oh, what's amazing there is you just look at a motor grader, you think, well, you take a handful of pieces and there'll just be a few parts. There are racks, boxes of new parts, and the thing's dismantled to pieces that it's worse than any jigsaw puzzle to put back together, but just interesting to see the whole thing, see some of the big engines that are, one they'd just taken off a dyno, one of the biggest V12 engines. They have a cart or table that it sets on to control the weight of that thing for their cranes to move it throughout the building. Because they got to use two of them simultaneously to pick up something. We didn't tour their paint facility, which is in a complete different building. We didn't go through it. Got to visit with Tom on some issues, and brought back a pickup load of parts from about 4 or 5 different places yesterday. And took the whole day, but I think it was worth every minute of seeing the process. One of the issues they're having with one of the newest graders that's still under warranty of bearings or sprockets failing on the drive axles or something, and one of the main runs 3 or 4 states, general manager of that whole deal. Got to meet dinner with them, ask some questions on different things, so it was pretty interesting. It was worth my day to spend with them.
Sounds like
They
it.
fed us a good barbecue down there at noon. Of course, they had, I think, 10 or 11 people at the tables with, there's another big company that does that, a lot of that rock quarrying down there in that real hard rock in Oklahoma. Supposedly, they're supposed to use not Foley, but a adjoining cat dealership deal like Foley's at several locations. And the horror stories they had with some repairs or on some, and I mean, they're running big equipment down there. And other was to see the loader bucket off a 990 loader. We didn't, that was the only thing that came in yesterday, but it was a semi-load by itself, just a bucket. I think you'd scoop up a couple pickups with each bucket. So it was real interesting to see some of the, I don't know how many thousands of dollars worth of equipment are sitting down around there just in Wichita, and what the dollars it would take to organize that shop and do all this work. Got to meet, each grader had its own employee that was working on it specifically, which if he can't remember how he took it apart, but he doesn't have to do much with putting back together what somebody else took apart. So I think and that's probably why it takes as long, where it's basically it's almost one individual doing the complete restoration of them. So good time and nice day with the sun was out. Got back home safe.
Birds are singing.
Anybody else, Scott? Our next meeting is December 1st.
Monday.
You ain't gotta do anything with that, Clark. I just wasn't sure if you needed to do that, so. Rather than,
Well, no,
okay,
good.
okay. All right. Nothing else? All right, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.